circumference is the distance around a circle. In any other shape, we would call that the perimeter. To find the circumference of a circle, we're just going to multiply pi times the diameter. Or, we've already talked about how the radius is the distance from the midpoint of a circle to the outside. And so the diameter is equal to 2 times the radius. So we can also say the circumference is equal to pi times 2 times the radius. So for example, if our diameter was equal to 10 meters, we would just say the circumference is equal to pi times 10. And we can approximate pi with 3 14/100 times 10 meters. And the distance around the outside of this circle would be 31 4/10 meters. But let's say that our radius was equal to 10 meters. So in that case, let me erase this. We would now use this circumference is equal to 2 times pi times r, or you can just multiply your radius by 2 to begin with, and then you're still just using this formula. But in this case, we would say the circumference is equal to pi times 2 times 10 meters, or pi times 20 meters. And again, pi is 3 14/100. And the circumference here would equal 62 8/10 meters. Sometimes you'll have a situation where you're given the circumference and then you're asked to find the diameter or find the radius of that circle. Now, some of you are already comfortable manipulating this formula with the variables in it, and so if that's the case, then you know that to solve for d, or for the diameter, all you need to do on each side is divide by pi. And so the circumference divided by pi is equal to our diameter. So if we were given a circumference of 31.4 centimeters, and we wanted to know what the diameter would be, we would just divide by pi, or 3 14/100, and we would have 10 centimeters. If it was asking for the radius, we could just cut that in half. So the radius would be 5 centimeters. And then some of you prefer to leave this as a one-step equation that you have to solve, which is also fine. So if you're not comfortable moving around variables yet, you can just fill in the information that you already know. So we know that the circumference is 31 4/10 centimeters. We know that pi is 3 14/100, and we don't know the diameter yet. And so now we have this one-step multiplication equation. And so we know that to get d by itself to isolate our variable, we're going to do the opposite of this multiplication, which is division. So the opposite of times 3 14/100 is divided by 3 14/100. And I know whatever I do to the right side, I have to also do to the left side. And 3 14/100 divided by 3 14/100 is just 1. 1 times d is just d. And again, on this side, I'm left with 10 centimeters is equal to my diameter.